The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Football fans, the time is now.
Give me a hell yeah!
For the football show you never knew you wanted. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Broken Helmet.
Coming to you live on tape on this Thursday, November 20th, 2025. It is the football show you have never heard of before. It is the Broken Helmet. Rich Eggy here behind the wheel. And to get in touch with the show, you can reach us at brokenhelmetshow@gmail.com or reach us on social at Broken Helmet Pod on X. So Chris, unfortunately, suffered a little tiny small loss last week. Doesn't really impact your overall margin all that much. I stayed basically even. But through 12 weeks of the season now, you're happy with where you are. You feel like you could have had better returns. We got a couple of weeks left here. Not that many, about 6 numerically. I think it's 7 and we include this week. But then again, that week 18 is kind of junk.
Yeah, I would say this. We kind of talked about it 2-3 weeks ago that you could go back and definitely review the random one-offs you had that could have boosted your payroll a little more.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
It's been haunting me all year.
I know, and we never talk about like how we randomly hit a last-second game that could have gone the other way, right? You never say like, oh, that $2,000 win, I only won because the guy fumbled in the end zone, caused a safety. The safety led to a field.
Because it goes both ways, dude. Right? Like,
yeah,
you're gonna take it on the other end, so you might as well take it when it works for you too, right?
Yeah. So, like last week, I had a parlay 250, I think, to win 1250, and Atlanta was smoking Carolina. And they were the fourth of the fourth team.
I was going to get into it in a bit. Each week I look at all the legs, right?
Yeah.
All the different games, and I try to build teaser legs. Now I haven't done teasers in a while. I was doing it in the beginning of the year, didn't really work out. I got away from it because, like we talked about, teasers are kind of suckers bets at this point because you just get such little in return. The books, they just throttle you on the odds. But last week, I was ready for this. 11-1. Now, I didn't do a teaser, but I kind of did because I did a money line. And sure enough, the one game that I didn't have here that screwed up my parlay was Atlanta. I mean, what the fuck?
I don't know.
It's unbelievable. I can pick them out. I can pick them this year like nobody's business. Give me the game that the team should win, and they're going to blow it somehow. Continue.
No, I was just going to say, that happened to me 2 or 3 times this year where a team had the lead. They were the fourth leg of the parlay, and that could have boosted my return at this point up to, maybe 3,000 over, and it would have been better. But it is what it is. I can't complain. I'm still at like 11,000 12 weeks into the season, so that's And look, one of my returns from one of my futures could return fairly well because out of nowhere now, Chicago's in first place, and I took them at 6-1 or 7-1 to win the division before the season began. So,
yeah, you want to talk about a kick in the nuts? It is the one sheet I cannot find. So, for listeners at home, I do all of our bets on these sheets each week. and I write out, all of the spreads and then what all the different categories we follow, the sharps and the tickets, etc. And then there's a betting sheet. And each week I do the betting sheet, and the betting sheet has all seen looking all pretty right there. And I can't find week one, and week one has all the season long bets. And so I've got to now go listen back to episode 1 of the year to figure out all of the different season long bets that we won. Now, I do remember that, at least for me, I had a ton more than you did. But all the things that I wrote out, none of them looked like they were going to come true at this point. Especially as things have gone on here. It's like I even repopped and I put down a couple of more season-long bets a couple of weeks ago, and at one point they looked okay, and then they all just kind of fell apart. Daniel Jones MVP, Ashton Genty rookie MVP. I mean, it was just garbaggio. But
yeah, my Joe Burrow and Jared Goff MVPs are not going to play out.
Straight in the trash, yeah.
Buffalo could still be a Super Bowl winner. I had Cincinnati as a potential conference winner. I had Detroit. I still got Detroit as a conference winner. They could still pull it off. But the Bears, that was one of my division winners. That's going to be a good bet if it plays out. But then I had like Hutchinson and TJ Watt to be defensive players of the year. They're not going to pay out.
No, but I mean, the one thing that you could look at for season long is probably like the divisions.
Hold on. Yeah.
Right? Because the divisions right now are kind of up in the air. So if we go and we look at the divisions as they exist, right? So here we pulled it up here. This is the playoff version of it. So we'll go to the divisions, the standings instead. And look at the NFC North, for instance, right? You have the Bears at 7-3, the Packers at 6-3-1, and the Lions at 6-4. So anybody could really win that one.
Packers are not going to win that.
I mean, I don't know. And you say that why? Schedule?
Not because of the schedule, because they are just not playing. Their defense is good, but they are not playing well.
Their offense is not playing well. Their defense is playing fine. Their offense is obviously a question across the board. Now, here's what they have left. They beat up on the Giants. They've got the Vikings at home. They're going to win that game this week. They have to go on the road to the Lions. Then they've got the Bears at home. The Bears are also not playing well. I mean, they should have lost that game last week, right?
Then they got yeah. I mean, well, to be fair, they were winning that game almost the whole game. They were beating the Vikings.
No, yeah, and then they lost it at the end, which is because I tweeted. I said J.J. McCarthy fucking stinks. He's so bad.
J.J. McCarthy, he's so bad.
He's so bad, right?
He is not. They invested so much in him, and he is trash.
And everybody accepts it. There's nobody that is saying J.J. McCarthy has any kind of hope of turning into a substantial starter. Everybody says that he stinks. So, yes, no, he turns it on all of a sudden late, and I tweeted at the end of the game, I said, oh, my God, Chicago's going to blow this game. And then they turned around, they kicked the field goal, and I said, I spoke too soon. I mean, it was amazing that Chicago got even a chance of blowing that game.
I don't know if you saw it, but they had like a 60-yard, a 50-yard return
toward the end. That's what let them get into such good position.
The field goal. Yeah. I couldn't believe they got like a 50-yard return. That's just ridiculous.
So then they got, here we look, they got Vikings, they're going to win. Lions on the road, probably a loss. Home versus the Bears is a win. at the Broncos. I don't know what to do with the Broncos anymore. But then they got to go on the road to Chicago, Ravens, Vikings. I mean, Green Bay's got a tough road ahead. I mean, that's a little bit of a rough schedule, especially since you throw away at the Broncos versus the Ravens and then away at the Lions. So, I don't know. Maybe who do you think wins that division then?
Detroit. I mean, I bet on Chicago, but Detroit's going to win it.
You would think. How is there? We know there's one game against Green Bay. Down the road, they have the Giants this week. That's a win. They got the Packers, which we talked about. Home versus the Cowboys. That should be another W. Away at the Rams, tough. Home versus Steelers, easy win. At Vikings, at Bears. Man, the NFC North just has nothing but games against each other down the end of the season.
I feel like the NFL set it up that way.
I mean, they obviously have an idea as to what they're trying to do. I mean, I don't know. Does anybody else have? I mean, the NFC West is another division that's going to be pitting three teams against each other. And let's see their schedule here. You got this is San Francisco, Panthers this week. Then you got Browns, Titans, Colts, Bears. Not even close. Seattle. So you have one game against Seattle, and that's it.
Yeah.
Is there any other divisions that are tight against each other?
I don't think that that's going to even be a comparison to the NFC North. The NFC North is just going to destroy. They might get into the playoffs, and those teams might just be wiped.
Maybe. I could see that more so with the Bears and the Packers and the Lions. I think the Lions are good. They're built well. I like Dan Campbell. I mean, over the past couple of years, I've been critical only because I really thought he was just this kind of doofus puppet head.
You are so critical of him.
Yeah, but look, he's lost all of his coordinators, and they're 6-4. And when they're good, I mean, they look great, and they won big games early. Again, I don't understand the Viking game 2 weeks ago. I guess it's approaching 3 weeks in. I don't know how they lost that game at home. It's just crazy to me, but it happened.
I don't either. I was speechless.
It's just, to me, that it's one of the craziest losses of this entire year was the Lions losing to the Vikings at home. But going back to the playoff view here, everything's kind of decided. I mean, there's a couple of races.
It's not decided. You say this every week, dude. It's not decided.
All right, stop.
It was like week 7. You were like,
stop. Here we go. Broncos, Pats, Colts, Steelers. All right, the Steelers is a little bit of a question mark here because I think that only one team from this division is going to get in. And Vegas had the odds heavy on Baltimore. Now Baltimore is one game out, right? Which we talked about a couple of weeks ago. After that, you have 3 wild cards, which you have the Bills, the Chargers, both at 7-3 and 7-4, and then Jacksonville at 6-4. Do you believe Jacksonville is going to be in the mix here?
No.
So you're going to have, let's just say it's going to be Jacksonville, Kansas City, and Baltimore, right? Those are the 3 teams that are probably going to be playing for that final wild card spot, because the Steelers will fall as the Ravens go up.
Houston.
No way. Houston's done.
But their division is horrible.
What are you talking about? The Colts are the top of that division.
I mean, but the rest of the division is horrible.
I mean, okay, fine. Let's look at schedule real quick. I don't know if they're just playing their division. I would think that they're playing more. The Bills tonight, they lose. Colts on the road, they lose. Chiefs on the road, they lose. There's 3 losses. They're done. That's it. They're done. Doesn't matter, whatever. And they got the Chargers late and another game versus the Colts. So they're out. So I'm not even considering the Texans because I have a crystal ball and I've seen it already. So you got the Chiefs, Ravens, Jags, plus the Steelers all playing for one spot. You'd imagine the Chiefs get that. Chiefs aren't catching the Broncos. I would think that the Broncos at this point have the division locked.
Well, they're 2 games up plus however many games.
Well, and it's the Chargers and the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 3 games back, and they just took the L. The Chargers have no offensive line. I'm surprised the Chargers have been pulling it off, but I mean, I guess Jacksonville maybe could squeeze one of these teams out. I would imagine. I too now am of the belief that the Ravens probably win out the AFC North because this Steelers team is.
They still have to actually win, though. You know what I mean? Like, they have to actually show they can win.
For sure. Steelers, next couple of games. Bears on the road this week. I think they lose. Bills at home. I don't know what to do with the Bills anymore. I would think that would be the Bills. Then you got at the Ravens. That's a loss. Dolphins, who knows? At the Lions is a loss. Another game versus the Ravens. Ravens are a better team. That one's at home, though. Last game of the year. That could be pretty big.
It's going to be
not ideal. But go ahead.
I was going to say it's going to be a conference that. See, like I feel like the AFC as a whole is going to be like the NFC North in the sense that they're all kind of just going to destroy each other. I think it's going to be an NFC year, to be honest. I think the NFC is going to win it.
Here's Baltimore's final schedule. Jets this week is a win. Home versus the Bengals, that's a win. Steelers at home, again, I'm giving them the win there. Then they got to go on the road versus the Bengals. Maybe Burrow comes back. I don't know. At this point,
Burrow's supposed to be back next week.
I think it's just such a mistake. If you're Cincinnati, just put him on the shelf. The season's over, man.
Dude's practicing in full, man.
I know. They're not making the playoffs. Like, why do it? I know Burrow wants to play. He's still getting paid, though. They're not going anywhere with him.
They are such a talented offensive team, but their defense is so
terrible. It's so
horrific,
fucking bad,
dude.
Man.
It's so horrific.
And that's just all ownership and management just not building a fucking competitive roster.
Azer dropped a stat today on Fantasy Football Today that the Bengals have let up at least one running back that has scored 16.5 fantasy points or more in every single game. Like, do you know how awful you have to be allowing a running back to do that for 11
historically bad.
Historically bad.
Yeah. The Bengals really, the simple fact that they were in the Super Bowl, it's almost like Marino all over again, and just haven't even come close. I mean, even if you think they've come close, they really haven't. Burrow's been hurt, and then on top of that, you get, no defense for a couple of years. I know the NFL's hard. I get it. It's not easy.
They almost won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, for sure. Well, they kind of lucked out because, remember, Beckham got hurt in that game. If Beckham doesn't blow his knee out, that game is completely different. I think the Rams just run away with it. And who the hell did late in that game? Who the hell? Cincinnati had a big down, and they went to like Samonjay Perine or somebody.
Oh, I don't remember
in the back.
That.
They made a call, and they went to some random running back, and it was like, what? That's the call you made?
I only remember I guess it was the last play of the game when or one of the last plays where Jamar Chase was wide open down the sideline and Burrow just missed him.
Yeah, I don't remember the entire context of the game. I do remember there was one play where they went to a running back that just had me laughing because I was like, "You, that's where you went? You went to him?" But I do remember that, and Beckham went out what, first or second quarter? But didn't he have a bunch of catches up to that
No,
point too?
second half. He had a touchdown. I want to
Yeah,
say it was the second half. I'm not positive either.
Yeah, that was just kind of the nail in OBJ's coffin. That was just the end of his career. Going back to 2025 here, NFC, look real quick. There's the top four. Here's the next three: Seahawks, Packers, 49ers, and then you do have the Lions who are live. And then anybody after that, who's live there? Panthers aren't. Cowboys aren't. That's it. I mean, you basically have...
Cowboys are another team. If they had a freaking defense, man, they'd be so much better.
Well, they traded away their best player, and now they've just been fixing that by trading for other defensive players. Makes a whole lot of sense.
They traded away their best player to only trade for other players.
Yeah. Again, there's part of me that
we already talked about this.
Yeah, no, I mean, there is part of me that thinks you got to let it play out a little bit because Green Bay did give them a shit ton of money. I mean, a lot of cash. It's a lot of cash.
Yeah.
And yeah. I don't know if I'm giving that much money out to an edge rusher. Fantastic player. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it was the right move, but I do think that we have to let it play out a couple of years before we know if that was the right decision or not. It is kind of comical that they keep getting defense, though.
Well, how much is Quinnen Williams costing them?
Well, draft picks. I don't know what. I don't know the contracts offhand.
That's what I mean. Like
none of them. None of them match Parsons.
No. I don't think.
Right.
Well, maybe I don't.
No.
I don't know what Quinnen Williams though is costing though for real.
Yeah, I mean we would look it up, but your point was that they would be a better team with a defense, and I am in full agreement with you. This just isn't going to be the year, and they're not going to catch the. I mean, what they're. I guess they're a game, 2 games behind the wild card. Maybe the Cowboys are live. They're not going to win the division. So the division's the Eagles. They're good. The Rams are going to have to fight to the end.
The Eagles are the luckiest fucking team in the world. You can't be the number 1 seed.
I mean, I guess maybe Carolina is still live only because the Buccaneers are 6-4 and they've got to go play the Rams this week. So maybe, they're probably going to lose that game. I think the Rams are probably the best in the league right now. But, Carolina is playing San Francisco on the road this week. That's going to be a loss. So even if they both lose.
3 NFC North teams, Detroit, Green Bay, and Chicago they could very well all make the playoffs.
I think that's a strong possibility. And the West could give 3. You could get 6 teams from 2 divisions.
No, you can't.
Why? Rams, Seahawks.
Can't get 16.
Oh no, you can't. You can get 5 because one of them is going to bounce the other. Yep.
Right.
So you can get Rams, Seahawks, 49ers plus Packers, Bears, or Packers, Lions, or if you're going to do Chicago, Packers, and Lions, then one of the West teams.
Yeah. 49ers, they're another team that they are so snake bitten.
Yeah,
my
that's it.
God. It's almost as if like there's blatantly something wrong with either the field or the training staff. One or the other. Because
I don't know. It's just dumb luck.
Always injured.
Just dumb luck.
Dude. It's every year.
No doubt. It definitely is is every year. If it's not one thing, it's the other, which is too bad because if you want to consider coaches and organizations, San Francisco is one of the tops, right? San Fran,
Yep.
Kansas City. Right now, I guess Detroit, even though their coaching staff kind of leaves, but they've really built that team well.
The Giants.
No. Buffalo, even though Buffalo definitely is approaching the end of this run here.
They're building a stadium. They're not approaching the end of the run.
Eagles, Rams, 49ers. Chiefs, Bills,
Ravens.
They're just the good teams do kind of all of the same things. Draft well, they build their roster on need, they make good free agent acquisitions. They kind of build the system and then insert whatever new coordinator they need as their old ones leave.
Who's going to score a touchdown tonight?
Oh, that is a good question. I haven't thought about it yet, though. Let's see. Let's bring it up. Hold on. I got to change around that's not what I want to do. So let's go back to where we were. Let me change real quick. I got to do this studio mode here. And we'll pull up the most recent odds on FanDuel. And here we go. So here we are with FanDuel. Let's pull up the game, and we will check what the touchdown scoring odds are. What do you want, first or is there anything good? First or anytime?
I'd like to do anytime.
You got two negative odds, Allen and Cook. Everybody hovering around 100 is Woody Marks, Nico Collins.
Yeah.
Dalton Schultz at 330. He's been getting a lot of looks, a lot of targets.
I know, but they're Buffalo's number one against tight ends.
Yeah, but when it comes to scoring, it's just opportunity. You're talking about getting down into the red zone, 15-yard line, 10-yard line. And then after that, it's just opportunity. And Schultz would have a bunch. Shavers right there. I just saw that Coleman is going to be a healthy scratch tonight.
They hate him.
It sounds like he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to read between the lines, it sounds like he's just a colossal douchebag. He was one of the biggest, this is the breakout year guys that I heard going into 2025.
I know. And he's just, I had him everywhere. He's garbage.
It's right back to where it was last year.
I still can't figure out if the Texans are worth starting tonight because I do not trust them.
As a defense?
I know that they're fantastic, but Buffalo can just destroy teams.
Well, let's finish up with the touchdowns here. Shavers I like at plus 500, and then Gabe Davis I like at plus 550. Gabe Davis got it. Yeah, he got a reception last week or a couple. I don't know what his box score was, but I remember hearing his name. Yeah,
3 for 40, I think. And Shavers did amazing.
And Shavers was great. Those would be the two that obviously they're big plus odds players to look at. The rest of them, I don't know. When you get the minus 100s and the plus 100s, like who cares? I don't want to put money down on that.
No, but like I like to pick two. So, like, a Nico Collins is a safe bet. Buffalo's wide receiving defensive backs are just garbage.
See, when it comes to scoring, I don't think there's anything such as a safe bet. Maybe
No,
like
there's
Jonathan Taylor because he's been on a tear.
he's not even going to score this week, which is going to crush me in my guillotine league.
But, you know, touchdown props, I feel like it's always about trying to find the reasonable, crazy priced guy to go with. Like that's the,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Yep. I agree
you know,
100%.
Gabe Davis or Shavers, you could be wrong 1 out of every 5 times, right? So,
Yeah. It's never safe. No matter what you do, no matter what you pick, it's never going to be one of those things where you're like, "Oh, that's a lock." That's a lock.
no, there's no such thing as scoring locks.
Yeah. Anytime touchdown scoring locks. You know what the worst part about it is too, and I think I've told you this in the past. If you do like a 3-team anytime touchdown parlay, they won't let you cash out or try and whatever, like get out early. They won't offer you a cash out. Hard Rock doesn't offer you a
Really?
cash out on anytime touchdowns.
Well, the real question is, do prediction markets do that? That's all it is. It's always do prediction markets. It's the only thing that matters anymore is prediction markets.
Well, I mean, they're the most fun, right?
Well, I don't know. It's just that they have taken over the space. Especially now that FanDuel and DraftKings have announced that they're going to do them too. Nobody cares about regular sportsbooks. Sportsbooks are, evil and garbage, and they rip off their people. But exchanges, prediction market exchanges, are, customer friendly, and they're in it for
They're
reasons
in it
that
to
you
win
couldn't
it.
possibly imagine. No, it's the. Have you ever heard of the guy Tariq Mansour talk about? He's the CEO, founder, if you want to believe that shit, of Kalshi. And he talks about the prediction markets, and he was like, "Oh no, it's not gambling. We're finding truths that exist out there through data analytics.
Yeah, right.
People are
Okay.
providing truths. It really is. You should just get a couple of YouTubes on him and just listen to him talk, because the bullshit that just spouts from his mouth is something of wonder. It really is.
It
fantastic.
sounds like absolute garbage.
Oh, the whole thing is, but whatever. They have found a way to create this exchange space, and they're going to take it all the way to the Supreme Court and let the Supreme Court decide whether or not it's legal or not. Especially when they had the nominee for the CFTC, and the CFTC is the one that oversees the exchanges, up on Capitol Hill yesterday, because I guess they do these interviews in order to approve or vote against the nominees. And this is the second nominee that was up. The first guy they got out there because they were like, "You are linked to this whole thing and this just doesn't work." So they had him, and they were asking him 8 million questions about prediction markets and sports gambling. And they're like, "This is sports gambling, is it not? Sports prediction markets and sports gambling. There's no difference." And he was like, it's really difficult. And I don't know. I'm going to let the courts decide. And I was like, but you're the head of the CFTC. You're the head of the body that oversees this. You are the regulator for this space. You don't have an opinion? And he's like, I'll let the courts figure it out. Then I'll just go with what they said.
You're just talking about that illegal market we were talking about a couple weeks ago again.
The illegal market. Well, I mean, it's the prediction market. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. That illegal market thing that we were talking about.
Yes. I mean, technically it's not illegal. It's legal right now because nobody wants to make a decision one way or the other. And the states can't win, and the government doesn't want to get involved in whatever it is. But anyway, that's what matters. It doesn't matter anything other than the prediction markets. I don't know. You had said something that went down that rabbit hole, and now I can't think of it. But
we were just talking. We were talking about future bets. I mean, not future bets, touchdown bets, and how there's no way to say, yeah, that's a sure bet.
Oh yes, there isn't. But we are going to find out. I would go with the long shot favorites and the first touchdown. Is there any more of a lottery pick than like the first touchdown bet?
No.
Right? Because
I love them, but
they're great.
They're brutal.
But you're really just taking something that is random and then adding to that. Adding randomness to that.
Right. It's one out. Your chances are 1 out of 106. Is that what it is?
I don't know what you're referencing.
Well, there's 53 players active each week.
Oh, okay. So 53 times 2, and then 1 to that.
Your chances are less than 1%. And
which is why when it comes to the first touchdown and it ends up being somebody like Jonathan Taylor, it's just so deflating. It's like, why do we care?
Yeah,
that was completely not worth it.
Yeah, that was a fucking waste of money. But when you hit, the best ones are the Super Bowl, though. I love first touchdowns in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, because you can consolidate all of your focus to one game.
Yeah.
Which makes that. Same thing with the playoffs, right? The playoffs eliminate some of the junk and lets you just pick a couple of games each week where you could try to figure out where the first touchdown is.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
The odds are similar. It's not like they change because there's less games, right? Because it's specific to the event itself. So it just takes the options out of your head to let you focus more so on one game. All right. Well, anyway, getting the weeds here. It's our Let's Bet show, so we'll get into our review of last week in down 1. Down 2 will be the big games of the week. Down 3 will be the rest of the games in the week. 4 will be wagers. So without further ado,
First down.
And I will just go through. I didn't do the slide that I usually put up for this, so I'll just go through what happened last week. It was dogs and it was unders over the rest. The teases kind of worked out for almost everything. The weakest of the teaser bunch were the overs. Home dogs were 5-2. Trifectas were 2-2. Home losses were 9-3. Chris, give me one team.
Jacksonville.
No, you should have just went with the team that we were shitting on earlier. It was Atlanta. Atlanta was 1 of the 3. Tennessee and Cleveland. All 3 of those teams had halftime leads and then lost the game.
Oh, yeah, Jacksonville smoked Los Angeles.
Yeah. And then as for Chris and I, we were tied. Look at that. 8-7 each on the 272. And then Chris was 4-1 on his super bets, and I in the super contest, and I was 3-2. As for the rest, the sharps were 7-5. Tickets were 5-9. So the Joe Public had a terrible week. And then money was even at 7-7. So when it comes down to actual wagering, because who cares about the numbers when bankroll is what it's all about, this is where that left us off. So as you can see, I ended up, the thing that hit for me ended up being the big, giant, no stress bet that I tried to create that had me sweating the entire time, hoping that Baltimore could pull it off at the end, and Green Bay as well. So that bailed me out of all of my other bets. I would have had another couple of $100 added to it had I not picked Atlanta and picked some other team that would have won. But no, I picked Atlanta. And then for you ended up hitting the Seattle, San Fran, and Baltimore alt line parlay. but you lost the other ones. And so that put me, up $22 on the week, and you were down 300. You're still got a return of over 20%, and I am still hovering around negative 50%. Negative 50%. Oh,
This is just for reference, though, to anybody who cares. This is not week 3.
Why, did I have week 3 up there?
Mm-hmm.
Where? I had week 3 up there?
Week 3 wagered, week 3 cashed.
Oh, jeez. That's probably been that way since the very beginning.
I know. It has.
Oh, and you're just saying something to me now?
I thought you knew, and we just weren't going to point it out, and I'm just, yeah.
No.
I didn't expect that at all.
Oh, I mean, 10 weeks and you haven't opened your mouth? 10 weeks is the first year where we
technically
put video out.
7 weeks.
Whatever. 7 weeks. 7 weeks, first year that we're doing video. I'm looking for you to at least
7 weeks.
Point out my flaws. You like doing so privately all the time.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
All the time. Well,
thanks for nothing.
Jerk ball. Week 3.
That's great. That's just great.
All right. Anyway, so that's how we performed. We will go into second down here and go into the big games.
Second down.
And I don't know. This week kind of stinks. I know I say this every week, and Chris, you make fun of me, but this week of all the weeks might be one of the worst. There are very few games, but there are 2 that I picked out. And so we will fly out to Kansas City for the first one, where the Chiefs are going to be hosting the Indianapolis Colts. This is a good one. Colts are favored by 3.5. 49.5 is the over-under. It is a trifecta game as the Colts have all 3 on their side. Sharps, 62% of the tickets, and 71% of the cash, all coming in on Indianapolis. Kansas City screwed me last week, as did the Rams. Those 2 were my first in, first out for my favorite bet of the week, my lock of the week, and neither cashed. And here, I don't know. Am I going to get scared off the fact that I really want to pounce on the Chiefs and this 3.5 point spread because they've toasted me a couple other weeks and the Colts have kind of had this crazy 2025, thanks in part to Indiana Jones being better than I ever thought he would be once he left the Giants?
Yeah, it's definitely one of those games where you are going to see a market that wants to bet against Kansas City coming off of their loss last week. And I'm going to go the opposite way and hammer Kansas City. They're my best bet of the week, actually.
Oh, lock of the week right there. So put it in. Yeah, I like the Chiefs a ton here too. Last week angers me. It did, because I just don't think they played that well. Right? They should have won that game.
Horrible.
They should have won that game. And another part that angers me about last week's game is that Bo Nix sucks unless I go against him. And then once I go against him, it gives him superpowers. It's same thing. I wrote today on Twitter, I said, I just sold all my Bitcoin and other crypto. So you know what to do. I'm the mush. I am the life's embodiment of the mush. That's me.
You're not the mush.
I am so the mush in so many ways. I can't even tell you. As soon as
fucking mush.
I sit there as I do my work, and I'll have stocks and stuff up, and I still like to look at the futures market, and I'll paper trade, and I do your typical everybody does the challenges, or what the hell do they call them again? I don't know, so that you get a backed and not contests, whatever trials, whatever it might be. And I swear to God, every time I hit buy or sell on the future market that I'm looking at, it just goes straight the other way. Same thing with all my bets. So anyway, going back to Bo Nix, I bet against Bo Nix and he blows up. So here with the Chiefs, I don't have to worry about that because Bo Nix is not in this game. It's Daniel Jones. But I think the Colts are live. I just think the Daniel Jones, the honeymoon is over. Right? Teams have seen him now in this offense. His past couple of games have been terrible.
I don't know. I don't know if it was necessarily ever this thing where Daniel Jones is their savior. I never looked at any of his games up throughout this season and said, "Oh, because of Daniel Jones, they're going to now win." All of these games. I looked at it as like Jonathan Taylor's having the season of all seasons, and that's making Daniel Jones look better. Like it's because of Jonathan Taylor that he's doing so well.
It could be a little bit of both as well, right?
He sucks. I mean, he's better than me, but he's really not that good. But if his wide receivers play a little better, I just don't think he has that much talent outside of Jonathan Taylor around him. Like, I don't believe in Pittman. I don't believe in Josh Downs. I don't believe in Alec Pierce. Maybe if they played a little better, Tyler Warren's legit. That kid's good.
Yeah, he's had a great year. I'm surprised every time I look at the rookie of the year, I don't really see a lot of Tyler Warren, but I guess his stats are just too far down.
Yeah. I mean, he's a tight end. He's not going to win. Not rookie of the year.
Going back to the Chiefs, though, they haven't been overly impressive. Like they kind of had a small window there, I guess in this second quarter of the year, where it's like, oh, okay, now they fixed everything. Everything's coming together. Here's where they take off. And I kind of thought last week's game was going to be the jump off. And then they went into Denver and didn't play well.
They have 5 losses, and every loss has been by 6 points or less. That's just so disturbing from it being in that organization. They must just be so pissed about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just more focused on the fact that we're 5-5 right now, and we've got to just get to the playoffs. Right, we got to get to the playoffs. We're going to have to go on the road this year because unless Bo Nix in Denver completely implodes, but I think Peyton is a good enough coach that he's going to figure out a way not to lose such a lead. I guess Chargers are kind of a wild card, but I really don't think that the Chargers with that line is going to be able to make that up. But the Chiefs are going to figure out how to do it for the first time on the road.
Yeah, the Chargers are in ultimate collapse. The Broncos are just going to have to pray and hope that people don't figure out how to beat that defense. Like, that's their thing. Like, they just fall back on it. Like, Bo Nix is good. He's not amazing.
I think it just comes back. I don't even think it's about defense. I think defense performs. I think it'll always come down to Bo Nix. Like, that team is only as good as what Bo Nix can throw out there. They're not going to run into the Giants every week and throw a 30-point lead into the garbage.
That's still unbelievable that the Giants did that.
I mean, whatever. They've been getting away with murder here in a couple of these games, and I don't know if they're going to be able to do that if Bo Nix wants to just come out and take a shit on Invesco Field.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, I'm
what is it? It's Mile High or no? Gaia is.
I'll call it Mile High till the day I die.
Yeah, it's Mile High.
I'm taking Kansas City. That's my choice.
Yeah, I'm Kansas City too. So we're both in on Kansas City. And then the second game, another 1:00 game. I mean, I'm going to go Packers-Vikings here. Now, I don't think the Packers have a shot. I mean, I don't think the Vikings – did I say the Vikings? I don't think the Vikings have a chance here. Packers favored by 6.5. 41.5 is the over-under. Sharps are going to be in on the Packers. 60% of the tickets and 58% of the money pool is in on Minnesota. That surprises me. I thought for sure that this was going to be a trifecta game in on Green Bay. But I guess 6.5 is maybe too rich for everybody's blood.
I just don't think anybody believes in the Packers without Josh Jacobs at this point.
Yeah, running backs, you can replace them though. Wilson will be fine.
I'm sure he will, but I'm just saying I don't think anybody looks at the Packers and they say, "Oh, Josh Jacobs is out." Oh yeah, they'll still be fine. They'll still be okay.
I guess because Love has performed so all over the place.
He has not been good.
They just have not been able to figure out what to do with like the wide receiver room. And then related to that, they have not been able to create any kind of consistency in their passing game. And I don't know what to make.
They should have lost to the Giants. Christian Watson catches a ball that was just absurdly thrown out of bounds, and Watson just in between two defenders just catches the ball.
The game also could have easily gotten away from the Giants too, because remember, what do you call it?
I'm not
Jameis. I'm saying Jameis threw like 4 picks that they didn't grab until the very end. There was 3 or 4 picks that the Packers
that's
could
what he
have
does.
Yeah,
that's what he does.
So, but to your point, yes, the Giants were in that game, and for a team like the Packers that, I don't know, week 3, week 4 were the best team in football, people were saying, things have really fallen apart on them here. The defense is still great, though. And I think that's the part where I really like the Packers here, is that the Packers defense should be able to just like put J.J. McCarthy 6 feet under the Lambeau turf. In the frozen tundra of Lambeau.
I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe all of a sudden it's like cold and he goes back to his Michigan days and he just pulls this game out of his ass.
There's no way. There's no way. Again, last week was against the Bears, and the Bears have no defense whatsoever. I mean, they're not as bad as like Cincinnati, but their secondary is all torn up, and I kind of get it. J.J. McCarthy is not doing that against the Packers.
The Vikings actually have a fairly easy. I was looking at it last night. They have a fairly easy schedule down the road.
Who, the Vikings?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, they're out of it at this point. I mean, I'm not going to pull up the chart, but the Vikings are 4-6. So how do they make the playoffs?
I was looking at it from a fantasy perspective. They have. I'm talking about J.J. McCarthy. Actually, he might wind up showing some sort of talent down the end of the season.
Somebody did cut him, I believe, in Lost in the Fog, which is my brother's league for those unfamiliar. And I did look at it, but I just pulled up the schedule here. Vikings are going to be at the Packers, at the Seahawks, home versus the Commanders, at the Cowboys, at the Giants, and then home versus the Lions, home versus the Packers. So when you're looking at fantasy championships and playoffs, you're looking at Commanders, Cowboys, Giants.
Yeah.
2 of those games on the road. It's not terrible.
No.
It's not terrible.
No, it's not terrible at all.
I mean,
Vikings.
I don't think I'd
home.
throw the dice on that, though. I mean, I guess Commanders home is the one game I could possibly start J.J. McCarthy.
But you're looking at it. I'm not looking at it from a J.J. McCarthy perspective. I'm looking at it more of like a Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Naylor running back perspective.
If there's any Viking that I want in fantasy right now, it'll just be Justin Jefferson, and that's it.
Yeah,
there's nobody else I want. Yeah,
he's the only one.
I cut Addison because I just had enough.
A lot of people did.
There's just no faith you can have that he's going to turn it around when the window that you would have seen his production uptick passed, and basically J.J. McCarthy is terrible. So back to Packers Vikings here. Packers are 6.5. The Vikings I could see getting like 3 field goals for like 9 points in this game.
I took the Vikings thinking it's going to be a very low scoring game, that like a 14-10 game.
And you took Minnesota. Wow. Okay.
Yep.
I'm surprised at that one. So we're on opposite ends on that one. Because you think the Packers just aren't going to score.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Minnesota's defense is good, dude.
Yeah, no, they are. I like Flores. I know that it's probably going to be tough because Flores has got this court case in this suit against the NFL and teams.
He'll never get a head coach. He'll never get a head coaching gig.
I mean, that's a shame because I think he probably would be a good coach to give the second go round to. Like,
It probably would be, but you know.
And some of the things that he believed in Miami are kind of true. Like, he didn't like Tua. And to me, Tua looks like, he's junk. Now, Miami had a couple of wins, etc., but I don't believe in Tua. And I think he just wanted to run the team differently, but so be it. Regardless, yes, Vikings defense is good. And so you're thinking it's good enough that it's going to keep the Packers at bay, and that will allow them not to cover the 6.5. Well, I'm going to really push against that with my pick because Packers are my lock of the week. So,
ouch.
Yeah, go figure. All right, rest of the games. Let's go.
Third down.
All right, we will start with the Thursday night game, Bills-Texans. Bills favored by 5.5, over under 43.5. Trifecta game, everybody in on Bills. I took them as well.
Yeah, I did too. I actually just benched them. I just benched the Texans defense because I can't trust them.
I still have the Texans defense, and I'm starting them only because I don't want to burn another. I don't want to burn a bench spot on the Texans while I pick up another team. So I'll just roll with them and hope my other positions bail me out. Patriots Bengals. We hit the 1:00 slate with this disaster of an AFC game. Patriots are going to be a road favorite here, 6.5 points. 50.5 is the over under. 6.5 is a lot of points, I guess. But look, the Bengals, they haven't looked great. Now they don't have Jamar Chase because he can't stop spitting. And, well, not that he can't stop. I don't think he's spit before, but, a spitting incident last week. And so he'll be out, 500,000, I think, $500,000.
400-something thousand, yeah.
Yeah, go figure. So Sharp's in on the Bengals. Everybody else in on the Patriots. 70% on both the tickets in the money pool. Who do you got?
I took the Bengals. Actually, this line moved from 7.5 to 5.5 on Hard Rock once the news came out that Joe Burrow practiced in full.
Oh, okay. Well, I just looked. Let me see if is that recently, because I just pulled these odds a couple hours ago. We're doing this podcast on Thursday night, and I still have 6.5 on FanDuel. So
yeah,
but check your local listings, as they say, for the best odds that you can get. Here we're going with 6.5. So I don't know if that impacts your pick.
No, I'm taking Cincinnati.
I am taking the Patriots. It's a lot of points. I don't really feel comfortable taking the Patriots in the 6.5, but you know what? I just think they're a better coach team. The Bengals are just dead in the water. Maybe Burrow comes back and changes that, but I'm in on New England. Bears hosting the Steelers. Bears favored by 2.5. 44.5 is the over-under. Sharps in on the Bears. Steelers have the rest. I'm taking the Bears.
I'm taking the Bears too. Kind of sounds like I'm with the Sharps on all these games.
Oh, because you are just a sharp motherfucker, Chris.
That's what I do.
You're a sharp motherfucker. Ravens, Jets. This game in Baltimore. Ravens a huge favorite at 13.5 points. Over under is 44.5. No sharp action, but the tickets and the money pool are in on the Ravens. Decent amount too, 66% on the tickets, 72% on the money pool. I will go first. I'll take the Ravens in this one.
I took Baltimore too.
Yeah, the Jets are they're done. Aaron Glenn, get another year?
No way.
Right? You fire him. He's terrible. Like, let's be honest.
They're going to probably give him another year. If you're asking me, I wouldn't give him another year, but he might get another year just because they're trash, man. They're nothing. Whoever gets them,
their roster is not good, but he has not shown any aptitude whatsoever.
No, he has not. I mean, somebody is going to be chomping at the bit to be their coach in like 2027 when they have 8 billion picks.
Well, you can't tell me that next year with all these picks, if they make a play and they have a chance at, whatever quarterback that they want in the draft or whatever, and they get it, they're going to be like, all right, Aaron Glenn, come on back. No. They're gonna go shop around and gonna be like, hey, we got the number 1 pick. Does anybody really like the quarterback and want to come coach our team? Okay, what is your name? Give us your resume and let's check it out. I don't think that's
they're gonna trade what's his name in the offseason too. They'll get rid of Breece Hall.
Yeah, I think that whole roster is in flux. They are just doing a full remake of that. I think Aaron Glenn could just be, similar like Gerard Mayo. It's like, all right, we tried it, didn't work out. See you later. I don't want to do the plan. I just want to do a quick whistle here. We were on the Ravens Jets. Now Seahawks Titans, another 13.5 point spread. This one in favor of the road Seahawks. 40.5 is the over under. Is at the lowest. That is the next to lowest total of the week. No sharp action. Everybody else in on the Seahawks. Contrary to my Ravens pick, I think I'm going to take the Titans in the 13.5 here.
I think that's what most people want to do because their defenses, they actually have been playing teams close, but I can't imagine Darnold's going to have he can't have 2 bad weeks in a row like that. And he was horrible last week. I'm taking the Seahawks.
Yeah, I couldn't. It's just Darnold on the road. Oh, God, it's the Titans. To pick the Titans just hurts me. Just hurts me in my heart. But that's what I did. So you're on Seahawks. I'm on the Titans. Lions, Giants. Lions favored by 10.5. 49.5 is the over-under. Lions have the tickets and the money on their side. Both pretty heavy. 76 for the tickets, 83% for the money. The question is whether or not Dart comes back. I'll be honest. I don't think it matters. I picked the Lions.
I took the Lions too. This is a bad game for Dart to come back.
Yeah, and the Giants' defense is really terrible. They never fired Bowen. And there's part of me that thinks like the whole thing is just lined up right now. There's a lot of things going on with the Giants. And obviously the ownership and the fact that John Mara is pretty sick and depends on what you want to believe coming out of, the woodworks there with the Giants is that he's not doing well and there's going to be a change of, a change of ownership at some point and they're going to shift everything over. I mean, everything about the Giants right now is not good. Maybe this Bowen thing, they're keeping him just to tankaroo and get the best pick ever, which they would be playing chess while everybody else was playing checkers. But regardless, for this game against the Lions, I don't think it looks good. And so the Lions are going to be both of our picks. And then that takes us to the 4:00 games. Raiders, Browns. Raiders 3.5 point home favorites. Sharps in on them and everybody else in on the Browns. 36.5 is the Browns. Me too. Jaguars, Cardinals. Jaguars a road favorite here. 2.5 in Arizona. 47.5 is the over under. Sharps and the tickets on the Jaguars and then the money barely on the Cardinals. Give me Arizona.
I took Arizona too.
Yep. Saints, Falcons. This game was in favor of the Falcons. Now it's in favor of the Saints. 1.5 points here in New Orleans. 39.5 is the over-under. Sharps in on the Saints. Every tickets and the money in on the Falcons. Any faith here in what's his face, Kirk Cousins?
Oh, I took the Falcons, but not because
Really?
of him. Just because Bijan Robinson. I just think Bijan's just going to destroy that team.
Yeah, I mean, the Saints have not been great this year. They haven't been really like dog shit though. Like I think they performed better than some other teams. Like, Saints, Jets, Titans. Which one do you want in a dogfight?
Titans.
Really? Wow, I'd take the Saints in that one. Well, we're going to be on opposite ends. I took the Saints. You took the Falcons. Final 4:00 game, Eagles, Cowboys. If we didn't do the Packers, Vikings, I was going to do this game, but the Cowboys I don't really think are in on this. Not to mention, I don't know. What do you think here? Right now, the Sharps are in on the Cowboys. 57% and 51% of the tickets and money pool are in on Philadelphia. 47.5 is the over-under.
I took Cowboys.
So did I. I took the Cowboys as well. The problem with the Cowboys winning this game is, I don't think it really helps their chances because they're not going to catch the Eagles for the NFC East, and I don't think they're really going to be competing for wild card. So that's why I kicked the can on that one and took the Packers. Vikings
They're going to
instead.
be very well prepared for this game, and Philadelphia is just not. They've not been looking great.
Yeah, and Philly has a game to burn here.
Yeah.
Right. Like, they could lose one on the road, and what does it matter for them? They've got the East locked up. And so that'll bring us to the evening games. The first one being Sunday Night Football, where we have the Los Angeles Rams facing off against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs are going to feature both the tickets and the money pool. There is no sharp action. 49.5 is the over-under. So, look, I liked Baker last week, and it did not pay off for me because Baker never got the backdoor cover. He was in it for a while, and, Tucker ended up getting picked up all over fantasy, but ultimately it was just too much Bills, and they just drilled him into the ground. And so now the Buccaneers have to go to the other coast and play the Rams at night. I don't think that bodes well for them, so I took the Rams.
I took the Rams too.
Yeah. Just like I thought, and that leaves one final game, the Monday Night Football Spectacular. Although I wouldn't call it spectacular because the two teams that are being featured are the 49ers, who have lost everybody on defense, and the Carolina Panthers, who nobody cares about. I don't even know if they're fans. The Panthers.
I don't even know how they made this a Monday night game.
Dude, well, I mean, it happens. I mean, the Sunday night game just gets everything. Sunday night game is good. You never have to worry about a Sunday night game. Sunday night game's always going to be of some kind of quality. Tier 1 or at least tier 2. But you never get a tier 3 Sunday night game.
Yep.
Thursday night games are always the worst. And then you got this Monday night where, you get a couple of hits, couple of bomberoos, and then you just kind of float in the middle. I really don't have any interest in this game. 49ers
San
favored by
Francisco.
7.
That's my choice.
Yeah, San Fran for me too. 48.5 is the over-under. No sharp lean. And then the tickets and the money are in on the 49ers. So those are all of our picks for the week. And so that leaves us
4th down
with our wagers. So I will start since I am behind, and I will start with my best bet. I already told you. It is Green Bay. I was looking at Kansas City too. I was looking at Chicago, but ultimately I went with Green Bay because I think J.J. McCarthy just starts crying. He performs so bad on the field. My survivor is going to be San Francisco. Give me them at home.
Hey, me too.
Is it? All right. So I looked at Baltimore. I looked at KC. I looked at Green Bay. And of all of those, I thought, I think San Fran is the play here. If I didn't do them, I'd probably do Baltimore, but I kind of want to keep Baltimore. So that's why I stepped on it. Again, I lost 2 weeks ago in that Carolina loss, which was terrible. But other than that, I've been good. You lost the tie with Green Bay. Otherwise, you've been good. So those were my best
Still
bet and
up
my
for debate.
survivor. And well, I mean, it's not, but sure. Super contest picks. Give me Green Bay, Kansas City, Chicago. I mentioned all three of those as competing for my best bet. Detroit and San Francisco. So that's it for me. I will kick it over to you.
KC is my best bet.
Gotcha.
San Francisco is my survivor. Super picks are New England, Chicago, Baltimore, Seattle, and Detroit.
Oh, okay. Well, we both got Chicago. We both got Detroit. Baltimore's just too many points for me. And New England, I did consider. I don't know, still something about them being on the road there, and the 6.5 that scared me off. So, but we do have at least two that are the same there. Back to me and my wagers. So I'll make it really easy this week. My biggest bet of the week, I am going to do a teaser. I'm going back to the teasers just so that I can lose. I don't know which one of these legs is going to blow it for me. I think it's probably going to be like Detroit at home where they like win by a field goal instead of the 4.5. But give me New England, Detroit, Green Bay, the Rams, and San Francisco. So ultimately, that means that New England has to win. Detroit's got to win by 5 points or more. Green Bay has to win. The Rams have to win, and San Francisco has to win by 2. Give me 266 to pull back 1153 in return. Then give me Chicago and Kansas City with their spread. So Chicago minus 2.5, Kansas City minus 3.5. Give me 200 for 733 in return. Then give me my best bet, Green Bay. Put them together with the Rams money line and the San Fran money line, and put 200 for 628 in return. And then I've got two last bets, both $50 each. Give me Dallas money line, Arizona money line. That's going to be the Dogs winning at home. 50 for 293 in return. And then give me the following. These are three teams that I just think are better and should cover their spreads, but the spreads are pretty big. So why am I making this bet? I don't know. Why not? New England minus 6.5. Detroit minus 10.5. And San Francisco minus 7. In reality, I could see all those games getting away from the underdogs. I could see New England just mopping up the floor with Cincinnati because they're just a better team. We talked about Detroit. That Giant defense, the secondary is terrible, and Detroit is going to try to mop the floor with them. And then San Francisco, you're looking at, Bryce Young on the road. They won that game last week against Atlanta. This is not Atlanta. Raheem Morris is not coaching this team. This is Kyle Shanahan. And, if they've done anything, they have played up to their potential. It's just that their roster has been devastated. So give me those 350 for 378 in return, and I will punt to you.
All right. I'm going to do 500 on KC. I'm going to lower it to 2.5. And that's going to give me...
I thought about doing that with my Chicago spread. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. I think that they're going to roll here. So, but that's a good move just to take that 1 point. All right. So 500.
I took the point. It only gives me 875 on return, but that's okay. I did a moneyline parlay, 2-team, 250 to win 850. I took Buffalo. And I took Dallas over Philly.
Yeah, we talked about that. I like that. I have that in one of mine.
So that'll work out. If it doesn't, it's okay.
Well, you would hope that you win the Kansas City, and then the 375 that you win there offsets the 250.
Right, correct. Exactly. Then I'm going to do 2 alt-line parlays. I'm going to do a 4-team for 200 to win 1,000. This is obnoxious, the amount of points I lost out on, but I'm going to take Detroit minus 2.5. I'm going to take Baltimore minus 2.5. I'm going to take Seattle minus 2.5. And then to offset all of the odds I lost out on, I'm going to take Cincy with Joe Burrow to outright beat New England.
Oh, man. Just money line?
Yep.
I mean, I liked everything about that minus the Cincinnati.
Of course, but everybody loves that because I'm dropping 13.5 points down to 2.5 points.
Hold on. I don't follow.
Well, all those spreads are 13.5. I dropped them all the way down to 2.5.
Yeah, I know, but again, the biggest risk in that is the fact that you're taking Cincinnati in the money line.
Yeah, I know, because I needed to even it out. And they have the best underdog chance this week of winning at
Yeah, but do you
odds.
think that they have a chance of winning, I guess is my question.
With Joe Burrow, 100%.
Okay.
With Joe Burrow, I think they could beat anybody in the league.
Now, you don't get to pull this back if he doesn't play.
No, it's okay. He doesn't play.
All right.
And then I did a 3-team $200 alt line parlay to win $960. That's going to be Dallas once again on the money line, San Francisco minus 2.5, and the Rams minus 2.5. So
yeah, well, I love San Fran and the Rams because I put them both in my tees and then in this 3-team parlay that I did with Green Bay.
I'm just hoping if KC can cash out like I think they will, then that $400 essentially covers the 2 Dallas bets if Dallas collapses against Philly. But if Dallas wins, I'm in the money for the week for sure.
Yeah, well, you're saying you got Kansas City locked, and then Buffalo's a lock tonight, and then it becomes, can Dallas win at home versus Philly?
Right.
And if you do that, then you got the 4 plus the 6, you're up 1,000, and the other 400, you're just letting it ride to see how it plays out.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, I'll be honest. Cincinnati one, I don't like, but I mean, if Burrow plays, I guess crazier stuff has happened.
Dude, it's New England. It's not Baltimore. It's not Kansas City. It's not Buffalo. You're talking about New England. They're good.
They played really good. They played really good this year. Like, I wanted to shit on them only because it was like year 2 of Drake May, and they don't really have wide receivers. But, I mean, when you watch them, and again, I haven't watched them in the moment. I've watched a couple of their condensed games, especially recently. Like, they're good. They are good.
They're good. They get the job done. I got to punch out, though.
All right. Well, so be it. That is the end of week 12 for the Eggy Boys. Thank you, Chris, for joining. You can just punch out and get out of here. All the best, and I will see you. I won't see you, but I will talk to you.
Well, you'll see me.
I'll see you here next week sometime. But
yeah,
you can take off, and all the best to the fam. So he's out. Peace, and everybody else, thank you for joining. Gamble responsibly, and enjoy your weekends. Do something fun. And if you're somewhere where it's warm, like, go outside and be warm because it's freezing up here in Jersey and it sucks.